Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome all of you to the live hands-on vitrification workshop. It is indeed a pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Masashige Kuwayama and Dr. Noriko Kagawa amongst us today. Dr. Masashige Kuwayama, as all of you know, is a legend in the field of cryobiology. He is the CEO of a private ART research center, Reprosoft, and is a technical supervisor to the world's largest IVF clinic, doing over 25,000 cycles a year, and performing cutting-edge research in vitrification, nuclear transfer, and GV transfer. MASA is responsible for establishing world's first oocyte bank, and he's also responsible for the first vitrification baby in Japan in 2002 and in USA in 2003. Accompanying him today is Dr. Noriko Kagawa. Dr. Kagawa is currently the president of ReproSelf Bank Japan, the first fertility preservation bank for cancer women in the world. She started her career in animal embryology and moved to human IVF in 2004. Her major research interests are vitrification of mammalian ovaries and ovarian tissue vitrification for cancer patients. She has, to her credit, over 50 cases of ovarian tissue vitrification in Japan and in USA. MASA has a long history of over 20 years of research in vitrification. He is continuously improving his method to minimize cell damage. His latest method, Cryotech vitrification, has many technical advantages in terms of solutions, plates, and carrier over his older method. And it is a stack of all these efforts that has cumulatively added up to make this a 100% survival method. Our workshops are based on one-to-one tuition basis. Each one of you will have one oocyte and one embryo to practice, and all of you will be guided by expert instructors. Close adherence to the protocol is a very crucial factor affecting survival. So please learn the protocol very well. We have the father of cryotech vitrification himself with us today. So ask all that you want to and clear all your doubts with him. Wish you a wonderful workshop, and I now welcome Dr. Kuwayama to start the workshop.
Namaste. Okay. I'm very happy to come back here to transfer my best technology, vitrification technology today. So as you knew, we have already experienced 900,000 cases for vitrification since I developed the Cryotech system in 2000. So we knew vitrification very much. So after my first publication in Cryotech system in 2000, we have developed and we improved the system for 4 times in total. So Cryotech system, new Cryotech, then we completed this system finally in 2011, last year. Then we tried to our best efforts to make the production system to provide the vitrification kit system. Then now we completed it in just last month. Then I'm very happy to provide our vitrification kits to obtain the same results of ours. So we have already experienced more than 2,000 clinical cases using Cryotech system for vitrification of human oocytes and embryos and blastocysts. And we still continue to obtain 100% survival. So if you strictly keep our protocol, so you will never kill any oocyte and embryos. Okay. So can you make it a little darker to make clear the slides? So first, I'd like to give the 1-hour lecture to give a basic knowledge of my vitrification. The first, for the well understanding of the technology, we have to first understand clearly the purpose of the technology. Please confirm again the purpose of the technology of the cryopreservation. Everything is for keeping. Cryopreservation is a technology of keeping the keeping the precious life of a human, we say it is oocyte and embryos, with giving no damage, with no risks, until the day of the patient's dream will come true. Okay? Everything is for this purpose. Today, I have 4 messages to you all. The first one, perfect protocol is already established. And the high survival of our method is, this means not only effective, it means safety. And virus transmission in liquidation is impossible. And the secrets of 100 survival. Okay, first, I'd like to explain some history of the vitrification. So I may look younger. I'm Japanese, look younger, but I'm not young. Okay, I'm 50 years old. I have studied vitrification for about 30 years. Okay. So, for example, I first succeeded vitrification of mammalian IVF-derived blast cysts using a cattle model in 1991. This is 21 years ago, when I was younger. Okay. And the next year, we also succeeded vitrification of the mammalian IBM oocytes using cattle model. And we produced 2 healthy cattle 20 years ago. And we applied this method to many, many kinds of the animals. And we finally obtained succeed of the vitrification of a porcine blast cyst using in-stroke deletion method 1997. And finally, we succeed vitrification of porcine oocytes. You know, porcine pig is the most difficult animal for vitrification. And the oocyte is the most difficult stage of oocyte embryos. So it means the porcine oocyte, this combination is the most difficult cell to be cryopreserved in all mammalian cell. But we modified my vitrification and obtained 90% survival, and we produced 2 healthy piglets in 1998. At that time, I thought we can vitrify any cells, any mammalian cells. Then I moved to human reproduction. I started to work human reproduction in April of 1999. Then in the next month, I got one patient from New York. So we obtained 2 oocytes after Colombian natural cycle. So we obtained 2 oocytes. However, the husband could not come by air accident. So we have to wait for 24 hours for the sperm. Then I decided to vitrify the oocytes. I immediately conduct the vitrification for human oocyte. I designed the solutions. I designed the handmade cryotop by my hands. Then I vitrified. In the next day, the husband came. Then we got the sperm. We saw 2 oocytes. Then 2 of 2 survived. We are lucky, I think. 2 of 2 fertilized after ICSI. And 2 of 2 cleaved. Then we transfer. Then we get pregnancy. This is the first pregnancy of the human oocyte vitrification. It was 1999. Then for the widespread use of the technology, so if I vitrify the oocyte, how many oocytes can I vitrify? How many patients can I save? So I simplify the protocol for the anyone use. Then I established the cryotop. I named it cryotop method. I trained all the embryologists. And I have 65 embryologists in my laboratory taking care of 25,000 cycles per year. All of them can produce same results as mine. This is the cryotop method, original solution 2000. Then we publish a good results, high survival for cell blast cysts. Then we give more improvement, second version in 2005. And again, I give more improvement, further improvement to obtain the higher survival rate. 2008, 4 years ago. This is present version of a cryotop system, my 4 years old one. However, the survival rate is not satisfied to me, or it doesn't work for the bad quality oocyte, bad quality embryos. For example, the oocyte from the cancer woman or older woman doesn't work very well for this version. So we continue to improve this system. Then we complete it last year. So new version, this is chemical defined medium. It's no serum, no protein. It's very stable, high viscosity, very high ability of the amorphous stage vitrification. So I named it Cryotech method last year. Since then, I'm supervising now 58 IVF centers in 12 countries. So we have used this method for some clinics, and we have already experienced 2,000 clinical cases for human oocytes, embryos, and blastocysts. And we still continue to obtain 100% survival. This is a very basic one. The slide shows how to enable to survive a cell under liquid nitrogen temperature by slow freezing method or vitrification method. 70% of the cell is water. So if the water contains more than 50, incorrect 53% of non-water, I mean cryoprotective agents, in the cytogel, it's never, ice formation never formed in the cytogel. So the cell should contain more than 50% of CPAs before cooling. For that purpose, first step is the same. So about 15%, it can be between 5 to 15, doesn't matter. My choice is 15% CPA, it's permeable. After exposure, I mean after containing the 15% of CPA in the cytogel, this is the end of the equilibration step. Then 15% should be condensed more than 50%. So this condensation can be occurred by the dehydration of the water, by the slow growth of the extracellular ice during slow freezing for 1 hour. This is slow freezing method. This condensation by the dehydration is also occurred by the big difference of the osmolarity between the cytogel and the vitrification solution. So the water dehydrated a moment, it takes only 30 seconds. The system is the same. However, once the first successful report of vitrification was reported by Roland Fay in the American scientists in 1985. So using different vitrification methods, there's no ice crystals. This should be ideal cryopreservation method. However, the solution is too toxic, and not the chemical toxicity. It is physical toxicity because of the high osmolarity. Then the improvement has begun. This is very famous formula. The probability of vitrification equal cooling rate multiply viscosity divided volume. So making effort is accelerating the cooling rate and also increase the viscosity and decrease, minimize volume has been performed. So for that purpose, so minimum volume cooling method was proposed. So minimizing volume. Minimum volume meaning smaller than 0.1 microliter to obtain the highest, to mean more than 20,000 degrees centigrade per minute. And second one, accelerating cooling rate and warming rate. Warming rate is rather important to avoid ice formation by direct touch with coolant, with liquid nitrogen or warming solution. The third one is high viscosity. Okay. To realize that, so minimum drop size. This method was proposed by Arab, but he couldn't produce many good results. So first positive result was reported by Stanley Lieber. He used electron microscope grid, this minimum volume and direct touch. So he obtained very good successful survival rates of using this electron microscope grid for bovine oocyte. However, so the electron microscope grid is very difficult to for the clinical use. And I report the open cut straw and the nylon loop is Len and Gardner in Australia. But And nylon loop is not a minimum volume. It is small volume. So it works for blastocysts, but doesn't work for the oocyte. And the cryotop is a typical method for minimum volume cooling method. It's contained minimum volume and direct touch. And it works very well. However, our newest method is not only minimum volume and direct touch, it's plus high viscosity. Yeah, this is a Cryotech method. So in the first message I told you, so perfect protocol is already established. We call it last system. It is reliable, universal, and safety. So the method was already confirmed. We obtained 99% survival for 12 years, more than 50,000 cases in our center by 65 neurologists in our center. Reliable and universal. The result is not only our center. So many centers in 50 countries produce the same results. It's universal. And also safety. The 100% survival of Cryotech method means no damage of the cell. No damage means high safety. And also acceptable the biotransmission liquid nitrogen is impossible in theory. I will explain in detail later. Okay, see later. And however, as you could understand, we have already experienced more than 900,000 cases for 12 years with no problem. Means this is strong evidence how safety the method is.